What's happening, YouTube? Today on the Dream Log. Well, first off, I'm just going to jump into it and hit you off with a quick one that happened a few days ago. I've been so fucking busy lately with shit going on. Oh, I got a lot of, what do they call that? A lot of iron stoking in the fire or something. I'm sure one of you will be like, oh, here's the proper term. Nah, you ain't going to do that. Nobody watches this shit. The first one, all I remember at the end of this is there's some like 4-year-old and we're at an auction and she bids like $50 or $75 on, it's like an old Model A Ford, but it's just the frame and body for it, but it's in really good condition. Maybe it's not like a Model A, maybe it's a later, oh shit. A later steel model or something. But, and he drops the hammer, you know, and not like he's got an actual hammer, but he's like, sold, right, you know, and I'm just like, damn, fuck, I'd love to get a killer deal like that, man. And here out walks this 4-year-old wearing, oh, geez, it's like a 1930s, what you would dress a kid up as, dressed up really nice, you know, wearing a bonnet and kind of like a little skirt. Very cute. I wish I could remember what color it was. Probably white with some flowery types of accents on it. But no, let's get to the dream I had last night. Man, I wish I gave myself more time to like actually describe these stories when I can remember them. It seems like as the day goes on more, or I go back to sleep again, I forget what happens a lot. But what I remember from this dream, gosh, it's like me and my buddy Sparky and Scott and I think Tim or something, we're bombing around. And we're in this cornfield bombing a minivan around or something, just having a blast. And then there's this cop sitting on the side of the road, like waving us to come over. And it's like, well, motherfucker, we ain't doing nothing wrong. You come over here and you just ain't coming over. And it's like you can tell he's got no fucking rights to bother us because we're on private property ripping up this minivan. Which I'll be honest with you, in the dream, I didn't know who owned this property or anything. So we were, you know, all that shit. But then I remember we're trying to like leave and he's following us and shit. Not in the van, we're walking now. And it's like a crowd of people. Oh, so hard to drive and concentrate on the story at the same time. But, yeah, I remember my two buddies, it was, I'm going, and they were more after him. I was kind of just, like, distracting him or something, and I remember this one point where I'm walking, and I, like, walk right in front of him and block, just like my body apparently does it. I walk in front of the cop, and they both turn left down some alley out of the crowd, and they lose him, you know. Then the cop's talking with me, and I'm just, like, looking at him, and I'm like, man, you look so familiar, you know, I swear I've seen you somewhere before, like, I don't remember this guy from real life at all, like, maybe I do, but he looked so familiar, dude. Kind of like me, he had the whole chin strap thing going on, light beard. I think that's about all I remember, jeez. Then I'm trying to remember, like, if it jumps or jives in between different dreams, because I had another one after that. But I think this is where it is, and all of a sudden I'm in a grocery store, the cop's gone, it's just me walking around, and I've got these cookies on the shelf, and, like, me and 2 or 3 other people are just, like, grazing on these cookies, like, grabbing them and eating them, and I'm just like, this shouldn't be right, we shouldn't be stealing their cookies like that. But then I look at these other 2 people eating them, and they're clearly poor as fuck, and they're like, we don't got money, we don't work, so we can eat them, you know? Like, not like they were saying that, but that's like store policy or something there. So I've got this like 1.5 cookies that I grab, and I'm thinking, how can I steal these out of here, you know? And I'm walking around in the store, and I'm trying to find a place where nobody's looking. So then I grab this other product off the shelf, like some graham crackers or something. And I remember jamming my 1.5 cookies inside the graham crackers. And of course I had the box open, and I'm like, oh, I go try and buy this, you know, with the box open. They're gonna open it and look in it maybe. So it's like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I was trying to like steal these cookies, but I was gonna buy the Golden Grahams, and I was trying to steal cookies that were free for poor people or something. So strange. But then I remember my Aunt Mary. That's who it was. And I'm thinking, what the hell fancy meeting you here? You know, I thought you were going out to Yellowstone, you know, this week with my ma. And here we are at some grocery store in the middle of nowhere. And there she is. And then, of course, my ma shows up, and she's there. And it's like, hey, how's it going? You know, how's the trip? I think I saw that one in. There's a lot of details that it's hard to remember. It was a small grocery store. But then part 2... dream number 2, I'm with my buddy Scott, and we're driving around in a car, and then we park it and start walking, and then we're walking by these 2 soccer fields where all these kids are playing. And I remember this one kid kicking it in the goal. There were no goalposts. All they had was like cones set up. Oh, I think I'm gonna floor it here. No, I'm giving him always turn. Yeah. We're at these 2 soccer fields, real small ones. You know, these kids were 5, 6 years old playing soccer. And I remember one of them kicking a goal, and it went past, because I was right behind the goal. I was walking by it, and the thing flies over my head. I kind of duck, and I remember someone from the crowd saying, oh, that one was a little too high, so it doesn't count or something. It's like, all right. So like, I remember I had this soccer ball, and we were going to go around to the back of this field. I don't know why, kicking a ball around, that wasn't like why we were going there at all, and it's just kind of how shit went down. But then we're like, man, see, it's hard to remember. Then we're like going back, and he's like, he picked up this new car or something. The guy ain't got a car. Well, he has a car, but he ain't allowed to drive it right now for certain reasons. Anyway, I remember I'm just walking through town. All of a sudden, I believe, like, I ditch him. God, see, like, I knew all this earlier. I remembered all this. I have no idea now. Maybe it'll pop in there later. It'll be like, oh, dang, oh, yeah, I wish I'd explained this. But all of a sudden, like, I'm at my friend Dana and Kelly's house, and there's some older guy there. One of them's, like, dating them, or maybe it's, like, their dad or brother. I'm not sure who it was. Don't know him. Oh, man. Kind of like that, just chit-chatting. All of a sudden, like, I'm like, hey, I gotta get home or something. And I'm like, how do I get there? Oh, I remember we had Scott's car. Gosh, see, I know there was a point to, like, why Scott vanished and went somewhere. And he was probably looking for his car, and we had it parked down some road, and I finally found traffic stop. Oh, my God, I don't have time for this. Maybe he'll let me go by if I don't see any other traffic. Let's see, I remember him, and then I remember it was kind of like my sister's car, like it's like a Chevy crossover or something, whatever it is. The thing was a beater POS, though. I mean, I remember before I got into it, I'm like, oh, it's a pretty good car for $1,200, you know, like. I also remember it being a stick, but it didn't drive like a stick. It drove like an automatic. And then I was like taking it home, I guess. Man, missing a lot of points there, but that's the dream log. Have a good one. Don't sub.